Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice, where I am also just getting back from maternity leave. I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy on May 23rd, and while I was out, Lorna Shore released 2 new songs. Since we recently took a tour down Will Ramos's throat, I absolutely have to hear their new content, and we're going to begin today with a first-time listen to and analysis of Sun Eater. Let's get to it. I know this is probably going somewhere where it's going to just have a huge drop and tons of blast beats and really scary demons. But it's starting out so classical. It feels like an epic film score in a lot of ways. And we have some Latin choir happening in the background, obviously lots of orchestration as well. I have to think that this has something to do with the fact that Will also really thinks opera is cool. So anyhow, I'm going to go back to the beginning and shout out all of the gorgeous moments because it's so pretty. Like it's just, I feel like this could be like in Lord of the Rings or something like that. Right? It almost sounds, I think that could be a children's choir, maybe even a boys' choir. And they sing Kyrie eleison, I believe. I think that's a violin solo there too. You'll notice that right here we don't have much big bass just yet. We just got a little more bass on the bottom now. Some, and then that boom that comes in there, that low end, that's a kind of epic, low, rumbly note that you would hear in something like an Avengers trailer. So they're really working on slowly drawing us in, doing something unexpected with this sort of very classical intro, and then you can feel that it's building to something epic. All of these guys' hair looks great. Beautiful lighting. I knew it. This is so much fun to hear, knowing what it looks like on camera. It's so much fun. Oh man, if you haven't seen that video where we stuck the camera down Will's throat, you should definitely go and find it and watch it. Operation Throw Camera. It was epic. And Will is such a cool person. It is like just delightful to me to know what it looks like. The vocal nerd heart is so satisfied at this moment. I love that on his lows, I can think about that amazing torsion that happens in there. He's definitely got some false folds going, and there's also this incredible twist, which I think helps add to that like low tone as well. And then when we get the highs, I know that it's going like whoosh, like this. You get this little tiny, like a tinier space, which is creating some higher frequency overall. That sounds like a little more goblin-like, high-pitched goblins. But I also have to say, super, super smart production. Love the build-up, right? We got those blast beats kind of like Ed said was going to happen. Yes, great premonition. And then it dropped out for just a moment before Will's vocal entered, and that helped to make his entrance even more epic. Right? That's so good. So there is still a little bit of instrumentation in the background, but it's definitely moved way far back, as much more distance. It provides some harmonic structure essentially, but it almost feels like we suddenly zoomed in and the other instruments are like way zoomed out in the background. I think he layered there too. That's right. That first, the low stuff is the stuff that is more false chords involved. And you've got that torsion happening as well. That's so incredibly unique to see and insane. He's a total unicorn. And then the high stuff is when it goes like, and gets like all tiny. Like there's so much constriction in the top part of his vocal tract at that point. But keep in mind, this isn't bad constriction. It's like, we just have good contraction of a bunch of different muscles essentially up there. And it's not any sort of overuse because we didn't see any signs of damage inside. So even though he sounds terrifying, his throat actually looks quite beautiful. Okay. One of the things I absolutely love about Will is the way he's able to identify so many different sections in his voice and then switch between them. Like he's got a lot of different things that are happening in that section. Gotta listen to it again. I'm like, whoa! Appreciate the different pitch center choices there. A lot of times we're getting like low, 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 high, essentially. Where he's alternating between a more false fold engagement and more of that upper area epiglottic engagement, essentially. And then there was a mid he threw in here that really said, hey, I don't need to rely on these two areas for different pitch centers. He's able to do a lot of different mouth shapes that can create different pitch centers as well. There's a low one. High one. Low again. And then went to mid right there. Wow. Oh, nice. course have to shout out to the other instrumentalists here, other musicians here. Whoa. I feel like this barrage of drums hitting me. It's so intense, and the endurance that must take, the building of that endurance. I know just from playing really fast notes and lots of them in competition piano pieces that when you're playing that quick, of course you're going to be sweaty, but also like there's so much tension that can get involved in it. You can run into all kinds of physical problems from the repetitive practice of it all the time. So wow, major, major respect for how fast these drums are blasting. And then also, there's some really cool guitar part that started in there, kind of backing. Is like, had a similar movement to actually Will's voice, I think. I wonder if this kind of thing ever gets into anime. I feel like this would work with some like very, very hardcore, grungy anime, right? The kind of anime that doesn't care about killing your favorite character. Like it would fit in that kind of anime quite well. I'm thinking, was it Titan E? I think is the name of one of them. That's just like, yeah, ruthless. It would work in that because the guitar has got this like total, it has like a nerd, but like a cool nerd feel to it. And the intensity of the drums is really cool, but then often anime has like really cool bad guys that come and slay everything. So I guess that might be Will's voice. Dream come true. Let me know in the comments if this is if deathcore in particular ever makes it into anime. Right? Anime. Ooh, that was a cool drop that just started happening when I paused at a very inconvenient moment. I think that they've paired in those last bits there, it sounded like they were pairing guitar with some of Will's highers and bass with the lowers. I'm not sure I think there were some more other things going on, but that seemed like the general trend. And I like that trend. I feel like it highlights a lot of different things. So many shivers. Oh, I feel like my bowels were moving with that. It's like the drop was so low, like dropped beyond my stomach. I love the feeling of that. That just wow. Oh gosh, I like want to listen to that and room with enhanced bass speakers where everything is shaking. I just like, oh, that'd be so amazing. I want to go back to it. We're gonna go back. Whoa. Sometimes I just have to pause this and say, sometimes when I'm listening to something, like I just need to feel it first, right? I'm going to go back and think a little more about how it's created, but oh my gosh, I love it when a song stops me and just makes me feel something. That really quick switch from the crazy low to the high is so freaky. I love the way that we've essentially lost the blast beats at this point. We've only got like a couple of things, but we've got a lot more just low emphasis. If anything is being played right now, we have mostly all lows going at the same time, and then every now and then there'll be an accenting high, like a cymbal, or there was a different kind of drum that was in there, and then Will's accenting high as well. But in order to make a low like this, I feel like not only is he engaging his false chords, it almost sounds like he's also engages a little bit of true folds every now and then too. I know that Will is very excited about Tuvan throat singing, and he practices that. And I personally think that that is one of the reasons that his lows have so much really incredible texture. I think he's pulling from the spaciousness in some of those low notes, and also I think that he's making a lot of space within his vocal tract to help enhance those low resonances. Yeah, it's like a rim shot and a cymbal to accent the highs sometimes. Ooh, I love that distortion that's on the sustained note. We gotta have some mad respect at this moment now for the breath control that it takes to do what Will is doing. As with any kind of phonation in your vocal tract, you need to have a steady stream of air going past all of the different things that wacka-wacka-wacka, so that you're able to create a sustained sound. And it needs to sustain the same amount of air pressure if you're going to continue a note. So when he holds out the same pitch center, it's not dissimilar from just holding out the same pitch with your two vocal folds. He's just phonating at a different area in his throat, and both things have to have sustained air pressure underneath. It's very interesting, and one of my big questions, and one of the big questions for the research community at this point, is if he's engaging multiple structures to create phonation, which sometimes Will does, we know this because we saw it on camera. If he's engaging multiple structures at the same time, how does he essentially portion that air pressure under each of those structures? How is that portioned so that we can continue essentially that phonation? I'm very, very curious, and I hope we figure out a way to measure that someday soon. Let's go back though and just take a moment to appreciate how that air pressure is sustained. Wow. I love the slide off. Just one more time back there. Really good slide off from the highs to the lows there. Oh, here. Yeah! was awesome. What an awesome guitar solo. I feel like we lost track of the time signature and just like let the music carry us somewhere beyond time signatures. Very cool. Reminiscent to me of Dream Theater, actually. Felt has a certain progressiveness to it. Ooh. What a cool camera angle. Pause. Yeah, that's a really cool shot. I like the theme of this song. I think that it was really, really well chosen for Lorna Shore. Sun Eater. I think we're talking a lot about Icarus here because the chorus is omnipotent. I am the one. Icarus. I'll touch the sun. Omnipotent. Icarus. I'll eat the sun. Right? And then we all know that Icarus flies too high, wax wings melt, and he dies. Very, very suitable for dark music like this. And it's interesting to hear that essentially, I feel like in this bridge, it's always useful to back some of the instruments off and feature one at a time, essentially. And so in this part, we're featuring Will's vocals a little more. And I really get to appreciate this moment. The clarity of his diction. These fragile wings will touch the sky, and then we even have like a little echo in the background of some backing vocals. Anyhow, let's go back to it. These fragile wings will touch the sky and paint the world in the backings are cool. Yeah. The way that things just slow down and expand to lower, it's like a sludge pounding. Again, the feels, right? It makes you feel something. I love that. I'm gonna go back again. Back here. That's the end of the bridge. I like the way his vocal is really clean, but at the same time there's some light production of it. Like I think the production helps keep it clean while also putting on a nice reverb in it. It would be really easy to overproduce this, and I think it would lose some of the astonishment if you did that. This is delightful. There's a nice verb in there. Ooh! Notice that last one. There's a particular sound in there that I can hear goes through his nose, and that reminds me of a time that it was really hard. for him to phonate through his nose while doing the camera thing, because the camera goes through your nose. And so it feels really, really funky to do anything through the nose while there's a camera in there too. Yeah, more closed mouth ones are going to be through the nose. Wow. Ooh, what a cool graphic too. Right there. It almost looks like he burst. It's like a scene from Heroes. Beautiful. Ooh. I love the melody that was carried through this last part. Really carried in the instruments, and then you get the story and the intensity and severity of it, essentially brought in by Will's vocal. But you still have this melody that's being carried the whole time. It's just it's like beautiful and scary at the same time, kind of like the sun. You can't do it. Shivers. Oh, that last sound and the way they kept. I think it's just air rushing by. It's almost like a hiss that's continued. Whoa, what a cool way to end it. Well, that did not disappoint. That is the first time I've ever heard a harsh vocalist perform right after having actually seen inside their throat. And oh my gosh, my nerd heart is beyond delighted. I have to say, if you haven't seen that documentary where we go down Will's throat and take a look at his vocal folds, you have to check it out over here. It is so good. Look at that and then come back and watch this and just see in your mind what those vocal folds are doing. It's amazing. I hope to see you somewhere again soon. Thanks.